motivational speaker, Mary Kay beauty coach, which provides her with the opportunity to pursue her passion of empowering and enriching women's lives. Lorraine is the founder of two organizations, the Pearls, Sisters Keeper Community, and the Her Life Empowerment and Coaching Network. Lorraine received her Bachelor's of Science degree in Organizational Management with a minor in Criminal Justice Sociology from Clifton University and a Master's in Psychology from Walden University. Currently, she is pursuing a PhD in Industrial Organization Psychology with a concentration in Evidence-Based Coaching from Walden University. Her accomplishments and certifications include Delta Mu Delta National Business Honor Society, Sigma Alpha Pi National Society of Leadership and Success, Acumen Classified Leadership, Customer Relations Specialist, Certified Educational Office, CEOE, and Professional Standards Program, PSP. She has served as a member of SCAEOP and NAEOP, OCAEOP Vice President, Event Planning Committee Chair, Nomination Committee Member, Chair, and Secretary. SCAEOP, Executive Board Member, Chaplain, and Annual Conference Co-Chair, and Hospitality Committee Chair. Lorraine faithfully works in the ministry with her wonderful husband of 35 years, Scott T. Gardner, and they are the proud parents of 3 adult children, an adorable furry son, Dallas Gardner, and 3 grand puppies. Her motto is, how you go through determines how you come out, which reminds her of others that although life may bring unexpected events and challenges, you must keep a positive attitude and stay focused and know that God will bring you through victoriously every time. Please help me introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. Are you excited? Yes. Come on, are you really excited?
Yes.
I'm excited. Amen. I'm sorry, I'm a church girl. So I'm gonna say amen. I'm gonna quote the Bible.
Yes.
Sorry, what you see is what you get. Okay? Changing brings change. And when I would say it before, I would say changing brings on changes. Change is a process. Change is a process that won't necessarily occur overnight, but consistency and dedication will bring results. The moment you decide to change is the moment you will view the things that seem to be holding you back differently. Things such as impossible situations, how you view yourself, your value, your potential, your growth, and your perception of how others see you. Change is a mindset. Let me say this to you right now. So I have a couple sessions, if you've seen in the thing. They are intentionally done to flow together, okay? So some things you may hear, I promise you won't hear everything saying, but some things you will see at the end how it ties together, okay? Change is a mindset, a shift in the way you are accustomed to thinking. For the physical to change, the spiritual and the mental need to lead the charge. Then the physical will follow. Change is processed from the inside out. Once the mindset changes, everything on the outside will follow suit. Change is intentional. You cannot say you want to change. You cannot think you want to change. You cannot write a journal and affirmations. I'm big on affirmations. And say you want to change. You have literally got to put in the work. Change requires work. It is not for lazy people. You can't pay, demand, or threaten someone else to do it for you. You've got to do the work yourself. Change is for you and you only. I want you to look at you, put your finger up. If you got a finger, and I want you to point towards yourself, and I want you to say change.
Change.
Is for me.
Is for me.
And me only.
And me only.
The moment you decide that change is essential, the moment you decide that, it's so powerful, because that is the moment you begin to live the life that you were purposed for. So many of us are living beneath the life that God has prepared us for, equipped us for, and predestined us for. We live on the surface level. Sometimes because of the experience that we've had, because of the culture we were brought up in, we live on the surface level, thinking that we are enjoying life and we're doing what needs to be done. But there's a little calling on the inside, a little tingling on the inside. You saying, there's more. There is more. There is more. God created us for greatness, not mediocrity. He didn't create us to be just sitting here. I don't care how old you are. There is greatness inside of you waiting to be birthed. But it doesn't start until you decide, until I decide to change. Change allows us to move forward in life and experience new and exciting things. When you don't actually work on evolving yourself, life can become stagnant. Learning new skills and working on the inner self can bring about changes you never thought possible. I'm 55 years old, and I am living my best life. I have chosen to intentionally change some things about me. I am not the person that's actually holding the pen. He is. But I have to make sure that I'm in alignment with him to follow suit with the pen. Because he said in his word, here I go, that our days are written out for us before we were 1 day old. He said that he knows the plan that he has for us. He also said that he created us for greatness. He said the works that he did, we can do those works and greater. So I've intentionally over this course of life, and I can tell you some story about myself, and it'll make you say, really? Huh? Not you, and I'm sure you can do the same thing. To let you know that I had to make a choice to change some things for me to be able to actually say to you verbally that I am living my best life. Is everything perfect? No. Do I have my perfect job yet, Katrina? No. You know, am I living where I really want to live yet? No. But I have made a choice to change how I view things and realize that in going through this process, there's a plan that God is unfolding in my life. But in order for me to see it in that aspect, I had to change my outlook, change my attitude, change my conversation, change sometimes the people who you hang around, to be able to realize that change begins here. There are two different kinds of change. Planned change and unplanned change. Planned change is when you see the need or want to change something in our lives, usually for improvement. Change can be initiated by us, and it is. We initiate the change and we actually bring it into action. I want to change my hair, so I cut it. I want to change my color, so I dye it. Right? Something that I feel like, I'm getting a little older now, embrace my age, but not only that, but don't look like I'm the average 1960s 50-year-old, okay? But I planned that change, okay? My husband and I planned that change. Out of 35 years, he got to look at this, please, every day, okay? Unplanned changes is the type of change that is not planned. These are things that happen suddenly and unexpected. Let me give you an example. This year, I have been living at my apartment in Columbia for a couple years now. And we like, people come to the place and say, oh my God, this is so nice. Thank you. We like it too. And so I had knee surgery. Y'all got a brand new knee. I'm about to get another one too. Y'all can get one too, y'all need it, okay? I needed it, so I got a brand new knee. All right, so I went out for surgery, and I've been saying for a while, careful what you say, that I want to move. But I was also saying, oh, that's my desired area, which is not in Columbia, right? we're closest to my children who are all in Charlotte, okay? But I wasn't planning to move until I got a job, okay? And so while recovering from surgery, I found out, like about 4 weeks in, that they made my beautiful complex, as they call it, Section 8. What's wrong with Section 8? Nothing wrong, because you know everybody needs something. But that means I had to move. So I went through a lot of changes with that, and that's a whole other story for another time, okay? But I had to immediately change my process and saying, okay, I'm gonna stay here until I move, because that's something I chose to do, I'm planning to do, but God had a plan. You know, it took listen, change is a practice. I said it was a process. I had to talk to myself and let myself know that, you know, I said God has a plan for me, you know? I said I trust him. I said I want better. He knows what's better. I only see what's on this page. He sees the next page, the next chapter, and the next book. I had to trust him. And so in all that process, not knowing where I was going to live, trying to find a job, y'all had some serious interviews. I mean, I was like the finalist. One of the finalists. One of the 2 finalists for this major job. And I didn't get it. I had to change my outlook and say, you know, maybe this is God's plan. So where I live now is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And that was an unexpected change, but it was for my good. And sometimes you can't plan the change, but God knows the change is for your good. You have to do what they say, roll with the punches. And you gotta trust him that he has your best interest. Come on. Because y'all got a lot of slides. I'm not gonna go slides. You and I are precious to God, right? And he has an intentional plan for us. But if we don't change our mindset and realize that we are valuable to God, that we have a purpose, we will miss out on what God has for us. It starts with us changing the way we believe, the way we feel, the way things need to go. So I get up and I go to work every day. And my girl back in the back, I'm Thelma. Not really, I'm not Thelma. That's Thelma, I'm Louise. Long story, okay? We went to Columbia together. I went first, and a couple months later she came on. So now she left me. It's been over a couple months and I'm still left, okay? But I didn't change, it didn't change the situation. Because I knew what God told me, right? But I had to change how I responded to the situation. You cannot change your course and then revert back to what's comfortable or familiar, your old practices, your habits, your conversation, just because you don't see results immediately. You can't say, oh well, I've done this for 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, and it's not working. You got to stay on course. Change is something you have to do and practice every day. I'm going to go deeper. Every hour, a little bit deeper. Every minute, come on. Every second. You've got to practice it and put it into action every moment of your life. You want change? Be the change you want to see. You want change? Let the change begin in you and begin in me. Change is an action word. Change is a, you want to read that for me? A decision. Change doesn't make you tolerable. It makes you
Better.
Say it, it makes me what?
Better.
Change makes me better. There's a saying that says, if you don't grow, you die. If you don't evolve, you become extinct. In order to be able to evolve and to grow and to be able to survive in any world, any society, any workplace, even in your own, you have to grow. And growing and changing are something that seems like curse words. They seem scary. But I know a person, I really don't know him personally, but I feel I do know him personally. We have the same father that was afraid when he saw somebody on the water, and he said, "Is that you? And if you out there on the water, then what he said? He said, bid me to come." And he stepped out on the water, and he began to walk to him. And as long as he kept his eyes on, he did not. But when he took his eyes and put in what he thought he could do, he began to sink. Okay, we all do that sometimes. Do I have any witnesses in here that can relate to what I do and you do?
Yes.
What is so significant about that? Oh, yeah, he walked on water. Yeah, he did. That's great. That's awesome. He walked on water. But was that when he began to look at his ability, when he began to look at what he thought he was capable of doing, his insecurities and his flaws and his failures and his shortcomings, and he began to sink when he said, Jesus did what? He helped him. And it's same with us. We got to work on it every day. And if we fail, we don't plan to fail, but if we fail, he's right there to help us. But we got to actually work on changing, because if we do not change, we will not ever be able to tap into the greatness that God created us for. You're not too old. I'm not too old. You have to be open and transparent. You've got to be willing to accept that the way you've been thinking or doing things may not be right, or may be outdated. You know, I know all of us got a little age on us, and I don't care if you're 18 or if you're 55.
62.
Oh, boom! You're looking beautiful, girl. I don't care the age you are. There is somebody that comes along that makes you a little intimidated. You know? Makes you feel like, do you really know what you're doing? Or are you really capable of sustaining your position? Or even question your personal self and how you look and how you think. But you got to be willing to realize that it's okay, because somebody got to worry about you too. But the same way they're coming along and they're might be a little bit more skilled in some area, you have experience in those areas. And your skills and experience can help them. And if you say, I'm going to change and I'm going to learn what she's learned or he's learned, make myself more marketable or make myself just better, you will realize that nothing can hold us back.
The secret of change is the
Change is not conceited. Change is patient. Therefore, you must be patient with others, because it won't occur overnight. But you also know that consistency and dedication birth results. You can't forget where you came from. Changing makes you humble, allows you to help others by not thinking you've arrived. That's because you changed. Change doesn't make you look down on others or turn your nose up at them. It makes you compassionate. Change doesn't make you forget where you came from. It makes you remember so you can be like a Harriet Tubman and go back and help others escape from their bondage, so they can too experience the change that you've come to know. One reason people resist change is because they focus on what they have to give up instead of what they will gain. So what? So what? Why get stuck being in the comfortable and what is familiar? Why get stuck being right here in shallow ground when you can actually get on in the deep waters? Don't be afraid of what's out there. Just take a leap of faith. But you gotta get in here first. I'm gonna say about that. Come on, tomorrow. You gotta get in here first and change this first. And I said last year that it's like a pulley system. This and this goes together. But you gotta activate it. You gotta crank it up. You gotta put some work in. And realize the change is good for me. When we change, nothing can stop us. When we change, we can be the president of the United States. Me at my age, if you change your mindset, if you change your attitude, if you change things about you, and you believe you can, yes! change. Be the change you want to see. I believe in investment. My kids are 29, 30, and 34. I invest in my children when they were growing up. What do I mean? I spend time with them. Because I don't get that time back. But if I want them to live better lives and teach them about changing and being able to adapt stuff, you gotta train them when they're young. You can't get them to do different if you don't train them different. That's right. My friends, listen, I had to cut off some friends. Because we don't walk the same talk anymore. And we don't walk the same talk anymore. I have a dear, 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 dear friend of mine. And I love her with all my heart. And my phrase I can't fix her. And you know you can't fix nobody. Okay? Right? But I guess it's the longing inside of me that I know when I started changing how I see things and how I respond. Because see, you can't see it. You can't respond. You can't even respond. You know, instead of saying I can't, say I can. As the book says, not yet, right? I can't do this yet. Now that I call my husband, y'all, my husband offended me. I told him this morning, he said, you gotta let that go, baby. I said, I'm giving you all this advice, right? He goes, oh, that's so sweet, she read it. He said, that's so sweet, she read it. And she just shared with me. And then one day we had this deep conversation just a couple months ago. And he said, you know, I forgot to put the school that you had to read. Duh. You know what you're talking about. Duh. I knew what I was talking about. And so he was like, I gotta accept that. I gotta accept what you're telling me, what you know. I had to change the way I see it, how I view it, because you're telling me something that you know. This is your expertise. We've got to change how we see things, how we respond to things. Instead of saying, well, it don't happen to me. Say, it can't happen to me yet, but it's going to happen. Because you know what? If you don't stop changing the way you say things, what you're used to will always be what you get. I have a daughter, and I don't care if she sees this because I'm recording it, but she knows. And I would tell her she was going through something real difficult, and I said, listen, you got to be willing to change. I'm ready to change. I want to change. You got to stop the barriers. Is there anything that make you can change it? You got to find out if you do change, what will cause you to relapse? Look at your behaviors. Look at what you do all the time. She would always say it always happened to me. Have you ever done this? It happened for everybody, but this always happens to me. And so this always happens to me. And I said, the moment you stop saying it always happens to you, it's going to stop happening to you. Now let me give you a little, that's easy. It's easy to say that here, right? But you can say it always happens to you, and then it's going to stop all of a sudden. It's not, because we have a counterpart from Jesus, right? That's always warring against us and against our minds, right? And kind of make us say doubt and to come and it's, you know, walk contrary to what we know that is right and what we believe in, right? So when you say, it always happens to me, but I'm going to try this thing where my mama or the therapist or the preacher or the teacher or somebody said, stop saying it, and it'll stop happening. I said it, and it still happens. Because what happens is, he's going to make that same thing come because he knows how you respond to it. It works. Why try something different if it works, right? He's going to keep doing the same thing until you really change your mind, change your conversation, change your outlook, change and be determined that if I sink or if I swim, it is not going to be this way this time. And guess what? If it is that way, it is not going to be that way this time because it's going to keep doing that until you really believe it. Change. Long story short, she went through a whole big deal. I remember coming to my office one day and saying, Mom, I'm really trying this time to stop saying it all happened to me. I'm putting the practice you said about affirmations. I'm doing what you said about, I'm listening to devotional. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm getting wet. I'm doing everything. She bought everything to do. She worked. She wasn't lazy. To stop saying it always happens to me. I mean, it's looking pretty familiar, but I'm going to keep saying it doesn't always happen to me. This is my time. She had been for jobs for years. She had been switches for years. Y'all, my baby got the job of dreams. All right.
Amen.
And when I tell you she is flourishing, she is flourishing. And when I hear her say, I love my job, and when people are calling her from overseas, they want her to work, she had to get in her mind to push past that barrier. It always happens to me. Because when you always say it, it's always going to happen. You got to what? Change the way you say, see, believe, and feel about things, and you will get results. And when you do it enough, it becomes like your blood running through your veins. It's something that happens naturally. We gotta work, but it is worth it. It is worth it, so worth it. You will begin to embrace your fears as hurdles and not mountains. As something you can leap over instead of, and oh God. Whew, I'm sorry, give it a second, okay? As something you can leap over if you keep moving forward with the necessary changes for your survival. Change cannot be about anybody else. It's got to be about you. And this is one thing, I want you guys to write this down, put it in your phone, and I want you to have an attitude with it. You can get stank with it. I don't need nobody's permission to change. I don't need to get validated by it. I don't need anybody. I'm a grown woman. I'm a God woman. I'm a predestined woman. I'm a purpose woman. I am and will be all that God created and called me to be. I don't need anybody's permission to change. Change begins in me, and change will show forth through me. And you gotta get up in the mirror every morning and say, hey girl, hey. How you doing today, girl? This is all about you. You can be conceited, you can be self-centered, you can be a little selfish. This is about me. Because when you change, guess what? There are people that don't change because they see a change in you. Do you not know people look at you the way you see yourself, they don't see you? Y'all. So when you change, you might be saying, well, if she can do it, I can do it too. And sometimes people don't realize you're struggling with certain things. Okay? They don't realize that all they see is what you show them. Right? What we show them, we put on that makeup. We walk out, and all they see is what we show them. And when you sit down and have a one-on-one with them, because there are people that are have divine appointments that you're supposed to be in contact with. That no matter how much you think your world and life doesn't matter, it does matter, or we would not be here. That will hear your testimony or your stories and say, oh my God, I didn't know you were going through that. And if you went through that and you're like this, then I can do it too. What did you do? I changed. I changed how I thought you saw me. I changed how I felt my potential was. Listen, when I applied for that job, y'all, I am the secretary. And I make a joke about that word. I'm the secretary. I'm the secretary, you know? But when I applied for that job, I applied for the job as associate director. And let me tell you something, y'all. I was, I said earlier, one of the finalists. Well, you didn't get a job. But I sat at the table with the president of the university and the associate president of the university. And we sat, and he was asking me questions. And said, well, Ms. Gardner, you're giving me something to consider about what I'm doing. And when I got the call that I didn't get it was okay. Because they didn't just give me an email saying, sorry, we told you to apply for the position. I was a little more qualified. Or, send me a letter. I got a personal call from the associate director. And I didn't get a hi, we really enjoyed you. It was like a 10-minute conversation. We just started this division, and we have our second meeting coming up, and can we keep your file for consideration? Now some of y'all might say, that don't mean nothing. That's y'all fault. To me, that's big dog stuff. That was big stuff. The secretary, Darlene, got called for us. What? But I had to change how I view myself. I couldn't see myself as a secretary. I had to see myself that God created me for more than that. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, but there's more for me to do. And I'm not saying that's wrong. They can say, you know what, there's purpose in that. But for me, it's time to fly. But I can't fly until God gives me the wings. That was good. I can write that down.
Yeah.
Come on. But I had to change my thought process. But that gave me some hope. I didn't see that. I didn't get a job. So I sat with the big dogs. And they sought my counsel. Oh my God. And I know now that I'm worthy. Even more so. Change the way you see yourself. And I didn't go, now y'all, I can do some work in it. You know, I'm good with words, can't y'all tell? So when I did my application, you know, I called Darlene, my girl in the back. I said, girl, how you doing, girl? And I said, if somebody called about, you know, an interview, about me a job, one thing I asked my title. And she said, well, you work at Richard Monday, I said, oh, you're the general assistant. I said, so I could have put that I am a project manager, got to do projects. I could have put that I was, you know, a program manager, got to manage programs. I could have put data analyst, I do that. But I did what my title said. And I'm saying that, that little title brought me there. But I had to change how I saw me, and I highlighted my skills so I know what I'm capable of doing. So can you. It's a mindset, it's a shift in the way you think, all right? And how you see yourself. Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end. You can't change what's going on around you until you change what's going on in you. Change is a necessary part of life. Be willing to surrender what you are for what you want to become or could become. Don't make it too complicated. Just start. Come on, I know there is somebody that's feeling this right here. And there's something that's calling you greater. And you don't know where to begin. You don't know what to do. You don't know if you're capable of doing. Just step out on the water. Just do it. But don't be staying where you're doing it. Just trust the process. Because while you're trusting the process, you'll still be victorious. You'll never get there if you don't do this. But change it. I go to work every day. And I've changed how I see things. I'm the secretary. No, I go to work every morning. But let me tell you what I've done. And I'll get to it in a second. Very important part of what I've done. And yeah, I'm a minister. Y'all can't tell? And I'm an empowerment coach. I believe in empowering, especially my sisters. Honey, we are all sisters. I need you. You need me, right? I'm not better than you, and you're not better than me. I believe we go through so much every day, all day, until it's ridiculous. We come out, put our face on, and hi, how it is? And there's stuff that we are dragging us down. But I'm your sister, you're my sister, and we got each other's back. But I go to work now, and before I got in my bed in the morning, I don't even hit my snooze button anymore. That's a big thing for me, y'all. I'm a snooze. I got a degree in snoozing. But now what I do is I open up my Bible verse, my Bible app, little U version. Simple. Girl, I don't get all this stuff in. I start doing all this in the morning. I really am working on being one person. Did y'all not see how I twist that? Last year I would have said, I'm not a one person. You did something. What I do in the morning is I get up and get that little Bible version, that Bible app. And there is a verse of the day. Who follows? Okay, I'll just read the verse of the day. I go down to the story of the verse. And so my husband been in bed sick sometime, right? I take my little AirPod, pop in my ear. I want to hear what you got to say with your interpretation, right? I read each thing. I can put my own little prayer in there, right? And when it says think about how you can do what, or how you can this, that, and the other, I sit and I think. Sometimes tears roll through my eyes, and I'm just praising God for what I'm learning, new things every day, new mercies every day. And when I get through that, I go through the next part, guided prayer. And I go through everything. Now, let me tell you what it does to me. It sets the tone for the day. It sets the tone for what? My headspace. So what I'm doing every morning, going, good morning! Now I go, good morning. Y'all, I hate formal letters. I was formal letters when my baby was little, they were formal with me. They grown now, I'm still formal letters. But now when letters come, I say, because I am changing And I know the argument to get, I need to go, I gotta change it now. You can't take the same head to a new place. The same heart to a new place. Well, I was at this job and I left it because they did so and so and so. And I moved here and left it, so it's the same thing. Open up again. Guess what? It's not a job. It's person. We need to change. Changing brings on changes. Changing this is necessary to improve, thrive. If we adapt to our surroundings and grow personally and professionally, it's how we're going to do it, okay? It's not always easy to accept change, but it's essential if you want to see positive results. Change can make you more productive. I said it here, by doing small things. Just start doing small things. If you gotta do a list, a to-do list, a prioritize things, do it. When you embrace changes, you open yourself up for new opportunities to improve yourself. You also learn new skills that will help you advance in your field of work and in your life. It will help you grow as a person. Sometimes we don't even know what we like because we won't change. We're just like, y'all know this character. What do you like? I like what you like. Yeah. I'm so character. What do you do? I do what you want. No, I want to know what you want to do, okay? We don't know because we don't know ourselves. We're so used to being programmed and conformed to our surrounding, our culture. Things that we have been a part of all our lives until we don't know what we really like. Change helps you to know what are your passions and what are your interests. You know, what are your skills and how do you hope to improve yourself? It helps you to embrace the things that you don't know and your new things and discover things that you might know about yourself. That can change. It helps you to grow as a person. Change allows you to try new things and learn from your mistakes. We all make mistakes. How many have not made a mistake in their life? Okay, I thought not. There is no shame in that. No matter what we go through, we're going to make mistakes. What matters is how you react to them. Now, one of my favorite poems, and I think you guys have heard this before, if you heard me talk years ago, is by Charles Swindoll, Attitudes. There's some of you that go in our life and think happen day to day. But nothing matters, your attitude and how you respond to it. The only thing that we have is how we respond to stuff. You're gonna make a mistake. That's a part of life. Change how you see it. Change how you don't have a tantrum. Get up and learn. Okay, so how can I do a better mistake? How can I respond to this differently? Listen, when you have an argument with your husband, you think you can marry 35 years into an argument? Girl, you're crazy. If they ever had an argument with my coworkers, you're crazy. You know, y'all, I think my halo is kind of. No, we don't have a halo. We all do it. The point I'm saying is that what you do is you regroup. Be a big girl, put your big girl panties on, and go and say, I'm sorry. Then you find out what you need to change that. For you, not for them. See, God doesn't hold you for their mistakes and what they do, He holds you for yours. And He don't hold them for yours, He holds them for theirs. So you change how you perceive it, how you do it, go back, because that change is helping you. It's making you on, making you a better person. It's preparing you for your next. Change how you see what's important to you. It helps you to see that. By embracing change, we can see what's important to us. This could be anything from relationships to career paths. Change will help you become more focused in life and know what you want out of it. When you experience change, it can create a ripple effect. This can affect everything in your life, including relationships. When things change in you, things change around you, okay? Change happens when you say, I deserve, come on, something better, and start to go out and get it. I don't care what your mom told you. I'm gonna be real, okay? Your daddy told you. Your husband, your sister, your auntie, your coworker, your boss. I don't care what your mind tells you. You are what God says you are. I don't care if somebody told you you will never be nothing. If you accept that you will always be nothing. But if you rise above that and say, but God created me for a purpose, whether it's to sit here in this office or whatever, explained this to me. When you accept that change and believe that change, the change will begin to grow in you. Take away that mindset. That's not what God called for you. But you got to realize, I deserve better. I'm not married yet. I'm 60 years old. Guess what? I have seen people get married at 70 and later. Honey, if you believe you won't, you won't. If you believe you will, you will. It's changing the way you view and see things. And then speak what you believe, not what you've been taught. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. Creating habits, right? The secret of success is found in your daily routine. Will it be easy? Come on.
No.
But is it worth it?
Yes.
How to change your life? What I'm going to tell you first. Quality devotional time. Listen, it's not about big stuff. It's just about nuggets of stuff. I'm a firm believer that it's not about quantity, it's about quality. So you can have all these big Bibles out and all these notebooks and these contemporaries and all these dictionary stuff, and you're doing stuff, and you have not gotten anything out of it. I'll take that 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, like I said I do, and get some deep quality time that makes you think and makes you focus and refocus and work on you. Y'all do that night now. My husband, I called him last night. I was about to bring it with me, but I see him, he a preacher. I saw him up there. Got my devotion movies that night. In the morning. Where you going, brother? I'll get in the morning, I'll get it in that night. See, it's a ripple effect. And I know he's always studying, but now we do it together. Last night when I did, I called him and said, okay, bring it to me. And we read the devotion together. What was deep, Trina? What was the evidence that he read that devotion, right? And then he said, but I don't like that version. I'm gonna read you another verse of this Bible. Let me get it. What? It's a ripple effect. It's a ripple effect. So create devotion time, quality time. Set goals, create routines, hold yourself accountable. It's you versus you. Everybody in here E2M? Hey! It is me versus me. It's you versus you. Track your progress. Look at yourself. It's okay if you come pat me back. Just don't be proudful about it. I know where I was last year and where I am this year. You know what I mean? That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. That's success. And we applaud success. And remember, failure is an integral part of success. You gotta fall before you get up. Don't be afraid of change. It's leading you to a new beginning. Don't expect to see change if you don't make a change. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. The secret of change is to focus your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new. Growth means change. And change involves risk. Stepping from the unknown to the known. From the known to unknown. And finally, you have the power. I have the power to change my life today. Change is good. Change is for everyone. Change is necessary. And change will help you to walk into the destiny. Listen, not that he called for you, or he cared for you. That's one thing. Y'all heard that. Let's don't forget it when we finish. He didn't just care for you, right? But he equipped you, right? He equipped you. You are equipped for this. You have necessary tools to get and to achieve all that he's prepared and predestined for you. Because you have the power